Another day here at the shop, and we are rocking with, oh, look at that. Gotta love when the old butyl bolts stick to stuff. But we're rocking along here, getting the Survivor back together. New taillight lenses are installed, license plate lights, weather strip going around, getting the interior all cleaned up. And guys, if you get your car back from the body shop and there's dust everywhere, like I know the carpet hides this, but don't sweep dust under the rug, right? Clean, wipe everything down, get it all nice. Make sure that, you know, there's not loose nuts or screws that you might have lost, and then you're going to be angry when you're like, oh man, where's the screw that goes here to hold this trim on? You know, so you'd be surprised what you can find. Old little treasures as well. So I'm going to clean up that piece of weather strip, get that one on the passenger door frame here, and right, super clean. Foaming spray works great. That microfiber, wipe everything down. Got the factory carpet right here. That's been all pressure washed and it's dried and ready to go back in. All the factory insulation still on there, so I'm not going to worry about any kill mat or anything like that on the floor. Unnecessary when we got all the factory sound deadener fastened or secured to the underside of the carpet. I will be putting the few odd and end pieces in the inner sides of the doors. I'll do the same on the insides of the rear quarters, behind the rear plastics, and that's just a couple little strips here and there just to kind of dampen the noise or vibration throughout the body of the car. And so you got the quarter windows. They're not fully bolted down yet. I was letting the butyl kind of set in place before I do a final torque down on those, and then I'm just waiting on these to come in from LMR. We will get a little bit of kill mat. Maybe we'll try and sneak some up in the headliner, and I never noticed that before. A weird little spot there. I'll have to ask Chris about that. That's really weird. I wonder if there's like a nest or something up there and it's like pushing down, because the headliner's in really, really good shape otherwise. So that's pretty much it, guys. I want to get the carpet in here, get the front seats, rear seats, right? And that way they're not sitting out here in the open. And we'll be on our way to tidying up the final little bit of the interior. I got to see if he wants to upgrade the speakers and the doors, maybe put a Fox locks setup in it so that way he can have keyless entry, and just a couple little things, right? Everything is a part, so why wouldn't you take care of that now? Moving to the engine bay, not too much has changed here. Got the radiator reinstalled, right? Started cleaning up the AC compressor. It's like 40% there, as is the power steering pump, but stuff is starting to fall into place, starting to plug in connectors, and slowly but surely this is all coming along. I still need to bolt up the bell housing, right? Get our ground strap in the back there hooked up, but we got a brand new battery tray, new battery terminals, all that good stuff to make sure that we got reliability. And it's all stuff that you should do when everything is apart, so that way, you know, it doesn't come back and bite you, or you don't have to undo stuff to redo stuff. Another day here at the shop and plugging away. Just plugging away, guys. So a couple things to share. We got the roof rails in from LMR, and I hit those with trim paint because, again, like I always say, all of these new pieces that come out of their injection mold or whatever it is that they come out of, The coating that is on might be black, but I can guarantee you it is not designed to stick up to Mother Nature's natural UV, aka sunlight. So always prep them out, give them a quick coat of trim paint. I noticed at SEM, they actually, I guess they're rebranding, making stuff look a little bit different. And LMR sells this, so you can buy it when you buy your replacement pieces. I do have to say one thing, I'm not going to knock LMR. I'm going to knock Daniel Carpenter because technically these are his pieces. And you can see this edge right here, which they cut on this 45, because that's where it goes down at the bottom of the pillar there. Here's a little plastic piece that comes on there to, you know, keep yourself from getting cut. And it just literally fell off. So I'm going to have to glue that on, right? It doesn't... anyways, I'm going to leave that there. But we got another box here that got a little bit of water damage due to all the rain that we had, and it was sitting on the ground. But here's Chris's original center console. This piece came off of the back of the console like this, and this is what adds support and bolts to the U-bracket down on the transmission tunnel. So it does have a purpose. And if you have the factory radio, you know, it slides on this guy, and by bolting this to the U-bracket will actually reduce a lot of rattles that you might have in your interior because nobody ever screws this back down. But not only is this broken, it is broken here as well. Now, this can be plastic welded, this could be epoxied, and we can fix this up, right? Or, right, maybe you have a center console that's beyond repair, and that's actually what's in this box. And shout out to Tyler from LMR, because he was the one that made this possible for me to have. And it's been some time. It's been sitting for the perfect opportunity to use it. And this is a brand new replacement aftermarket center console frame. So let's have a look. All right, other than a little bit of wet cardboard, everything should be okay in here. I have actually never looked at this or even opened it up. There we go, shiny and black. Okay, so here's this piece. What else do we get here? We got all the hardware to install it, which is kind of cool. And then we get these guys, which, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what these do. But with that said, I'm sure I could figure it out. So this piece is actually really nice. Now, I haven't held it up next to the factory one, but at first glance, especially if you guys have a console that's been drilled for an aftermarket radio, well, guess what? Perfect replacement part that you can go ahead and install a radio or do whatever you want to do that has not been butchered. So this is actually really nice. Again, same thing about the trim though. This is black out of the injection molding. And if you were to just install that in your car, chances are it might look a little shinier than the rest of your interior. Now, if you've painted your interior with Lando black, which is a little bit shinier than factory, it'd probably look the part. However, I would still scuff this down and spray this just to coat and protect what the plastic is. So we can see here the texture is pretty much bang on, but shiny and a little bit more charcoaly is the OE black color. And again, if you were to spray everything fresh with Lando, it's probably going to look very similar to this, right? Which is the black paint that you would get from LMR. That is rebranded SEM paint as far as I know, and Lando black. I personally have leaned towards either the SEM satin black, or now I have started using Color Bond, which has, I feel like Color Bond is a superior product over SEM, and I've just started using their products instead. So here you guys go is the comparison. Now I'm actually going to be fixing Chris's original console here because it's not going to take that much time and effort to repair this little crack and get that bracket component epoxied back onto the back the way that it needs to be. I just wanted to show you guys this because it's been sitting in the box, and I know Tyler has been excited for me to showcase this guy. And it's a really nice looking piece, guys. If you need a new center console replacement, this will do the part just fine. So, right, you can pretty much get everything you need. All the other components are available aftermarket, right? You can get your cup holder center in the midsection here. You can get armrest delete. If you want to go that route, you can get new shifter boot and bezel trim that goes around there, and your interior is going to look as good as new. Hopefully that helps someone out there in terms of wanting to possibly, you know, replace or fix their center console, or maybe you did the 417 Fox kit and you ended up cutting way more than you felt comfortable with and want to update that. Well, there is your solution. All right, guys, so I've complained about these parts in the past and I'm still complaining about them today. So here is a trick. This is a 12mm wrench, and you want to get the box end into the channel. Remove all the shitty clips that come with these pieces. Reuse your old ones if you have them. Make sure that you got the orientation right. All right, run your wrench all the way through the channel, front to back. And you're gonna have to probably do it a couple times, and even like you want to bend this metal, okay? And if you don't bend it, you're not going to get the result that you want. The rubber is going to go underneath the lip of your roof rail and really not look the part. And the most important part is here at the curve, because otherwise, like I said, it's going to want to stay on the inside of the where your roof rail starts curving in. All right, so you want to give yourself plenty of room. Just move it down, tweak your wrench, open that channel up. Probably another way that you could do this, but this way works for me. All right, so things are generally opened up there. And get a piece of plastic. You need to help the rubber kind of seat better. Fold right there. Hopefully you guys managed to see that. Now, I know this is going to work. Just need to get the clips up in there, but that's what I was talking about. If you're not careful in these corners, this is going to fold down into where your roof starts going into the drip rail down in here. Okay, so looks like we're going to be able to make these ones work. Not the easiest thing in the world, but they're there. I'm not going to mess with them right now. I'll come back and finish that out. I need to get the factory clips off the other ones which I have at home. Then I'll stick them in there and we'll be done with that. And this is, I hate the whole, this is a controversial topic, but it is a little controversial to some, depending on who you are and your approach to things. And in this case, it's leaving the moldings on the car when you paint it, and then in this case, painting the moldings while they're on the car. So I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the details. I'm just going to leave it at this. If your moldings, like aside from the ones that are removable here, right? If they are stuck on the car really, really well, they're original. There's no damage, there's no peeling, you know, they're not coming detached, all right? Either up here or back here, and they're nice and they're flat and they're smooth, I leave them on, because I don't care what the approach is, or ripping out the metal behind them, trying to get the tape off, the adhesive, everything else. Especially in this case, like this is a really nice build and a really nice mini restoration. Don't get me wrong, it's probably, in fact, in my opinion, gonna possibly look even better than factory, because we've actually got paint in the engine bay now, and we've got things just nice and shiny and clean and all of that good stuff. But I leave the moldings on. This case, it's a black molding car. I've sprayed them on the car. I've prepped them out, right? Scotch pad, prep clean, prime flexible, trim primer, and then the trim paint. And guys, they will turn out awesome. The biggest thing here is your prep and how good you are at masking to make sure that you don't get overspray on places that you shouldn't be getting overspray. All right, so there we have it. Gonna unmask the car. And aside from getting the door lock cylinders reinstalled, which are now painted, and I'm waiting on my new door handles, the trim is going to be done on the car. All right, cheap, affordable stereo upgrades. Pile. Guys, you can upgrade your door speakers, dash speakers, and rear speakers for under $100, and usually on Amazon Prime, you get them all the next day. And if you have a factory radio and you literally just want to fix crackling and make the sound a little bit better, you can't go wrong with these. You don't need to spend a lot of money, and these work great. You can get all the right sizes, 5 1/4, 3 1/2, and 5x7s for the rear. The radio is going out to Todd Lane to get Bluetooth upgrade and just to clean up and everything else. So, you know, he just wants something for when he doesn't want to hear the exhaust, maybe on a long road trip or whatever else, a little bit of background music, maybe listen to Rolling in My 5.0 podcast, just saying. And that's that. And you can see I've got a fancy connector here that comes with terminated ends, and it makes your life extra easy because you can literally just go like that. So no cutting, no splicing. This will actually fit in the factory little premium sound boombox thing. The only thing that you will have to do is you'll be able to line up 1 out of 3 holes, I believe, and you will have to drill out your others, because factory speakers are held in with only 3 screws. So if you want all 4, you're gonna have to drill some holes. Here's a hack that the factory, I don't know, I have never seen Christmas tree clips in this panel. And this panel goes right here on the back side of your headliner if you have a hatchback. And there are holes for those Christmas trees to go in, okay? Another way to mitigate rattles. I show you guys a lot of hacks, and it's just one of those things. If there's a way to do something, why wouldn't you do it? All right, so I am going to do it. And Ford also doesn't install screws in the rear plastics here in most cases, leaving this loose, and then sometimes doesn't even use all 4 screw holes here. Looks like they did in this case, but I've seen these held on with only 3, and you can tell if they've drilled or not. So anyways, gonna put this on properly, maybe better than the factory did, and hopefully we'll have less rattles as a result.